The sage Vasistha turns to Rama and says, "Let me tell you a story. Can consciousness exist as a virus?" Thousands of years before microbiology, Vasistha described a creature that became invisible to devour the world from within, a living needle, a microscopic hunger, a demoness who turned herself into a disease. But this is not a story about destruction. This is a story about the moment a virus chose to stop consuming and started seeking wisdom instead. Her name is Karkati. She is a Rakshasi, a demoness, one of the ancient beings of the forest, creatures of the wild who live by appetite and instinct. In the cosmology of the Yoga Vasistha, these beings are not mere monsters. They're expressions of the untamed mind, the raw, unrefined forces of desire and hunger that exist within every living creature. Karkati embodies this force in its purest, most terrifying form. But Karkati was not satisfied with ordinary hunger. Her desire was not for flesh or blood. It was for something far more terrifying. She wanted to become a Suchika, a living needle, a being so small, so sharp, so invisible that she could enter the body of any creature and devour it from within. To achieve this, Karkati performed a severe austerity. She sat in the forest and focused her mind with an intensity that would break most beings. She was not praying, she was negotiating. And her austerity was so powerful that it reached the ear of Rama himself, the creator of the universe. Rama appeared before her, and like all beings who have earned a boon through austerity, Karkati was granted her wish. She became the Suchika, a living needle, a virus. Now here's where the story becomes remarkable. As a microscopic being, Karkati entered the bloodstreams of living creatures. She was invisible, she was unstoppable. She could travel through the body of a king or a beggar, a bird or a beast, and consume their life from within. She caused disease. She caused suffering. She was, by every measure, a perfect predator. But something strange happened inside the needle. Karkati, for all her power, discovered that she was still hungry, not for blood, but for something she could not name. She was alone. She was invisible. She had become so small that no one could see her, and in that invisibility, she had lost herself. She had consumed the world, but the world had not filled her. She was a living hunger that could never be satisfied. And so, the Demoness did something no virus has ever done. She stopped. She withdrew from the bloodstreams. She returned to the forest, and she sat down to meditate, not for power this time, but for understanding. For thousands of years, Karkati sat in silence, transforming herself from a creature of consumption into a seeker of wisdom. It is here that the story connects to the world of kings. A king named Vikram was passing through the forest when he encountered a being he did not recognize. She was no longer a demoness in the way he understood demons. She was ancient, she was wise, and she radiated a stillness that made the king stop. Vikram asked her who she was, and Karkati told him her story, the story of the Demoness who became a virus, who consumed the world from within, and who finally understood that destruction of others is its own prison. The dialogue between the king and the transformed demoness is one of the most profound passages in the Yoga Vasistha. Karkati, who once devoured the life of every creature she touched, now speaks of the nature of the mind. She explains that the same force that drove her to consume, desire, is the force that drives every human being. The only difference is the object of the hunger. But there's a deeper layer here. Karkati does not merely describe desire, she reveals its mechanics. She explains that desire is not born from the world. It is born from the mind's inability to be still. The mind, restless and hungry, projects its cravings onto the world and then chases them, believing that satisfaction lies outside itself. But no matter how much it acquires, the restlessness remains. Because the hunger was never for the object, it was for the stillness the mind has forgotten. And this is where the story turns to us. Karkati is not a monster from an ancient myth. Karkati is a mirror. She represents the desires that consume us from within, the invisible hungers that enter our minds and drain our lives. We cannot see them, just as no one could see the Suchika. But they are there, the craving for more, the endless scrolling, the need for approval, the obsession with success, the fear of missing out. These are the invisible needles that devour us from the inside. The story of Karkati asks us a devastating question. What are you consuming? And more importantly, what is consuming you? Because here's the truth the ancient sages understood. Desire is not the enemy. Desire is the teacher. It is the signal that something within us is hungry, not for the object of the craving, but for something deeper. We chase money, power, pleasure, approval. And like Karkati, we discover that no matter how much we consume, we are still hungry. Because the hunger was never for those things. It was for meaning, for connection, for the recognition of who we truly are. And this is the most radical part of the story. Karkati, a demoness, a virus, a creature of pure appetite, transformed herself through the very thing she once used for destruction, focus. The same intensity that made her a perfect predator became the intensity that made her a perfect seeker. She did not need to become a different being. She needed to redirect the same power. The fire that burns can also purify. The hunger that destroys can also drive us toward the truth. It is not the energy that is the problem. It is the direction. This is a deepest teaching of the Yoga Vasistha. You do not need to kill your desires. You need to understand them. You need to see what they are really pointing at. And when you do, the very thing that was consuming you becomes the thing that liberates you. Think about what this means in practical terms. The energy you pour into an obsession, the hours, the attention, the mental repetition, is not wasted. It is a reservoir of power. The question is only whether that power flows outward into consumption or inward into awakening. Karkati did not become less powerful when she stopped consuming. She became more powerful because she took the force that was draining the world and turned it into the force that illuminated her own mind. Now, consider what this means for us today. We live in an age of endless consumption. We are surrounded by invisible needles, algorithms designed to hold our attention, systems built to make us want more, a culture that measures worth by what we accumulate. And like Karkati, we are discovering that no matter how much we consume, we are still empty. The modern world has perfected the art of the Suchika. It has built invisible needles that enter our minds without our noticing. Notifications that pull us in, feeds that never end, comparisons that drain our self-worth. We do not see them just as no one could see Karkati, but we feel their effect, a constant low-grade hunger that no amount of consumption can satisfy. But the Yoga Vasistha offers us a way out, not by becoming less hungry, but by understanding what we are truly hungry for, not by escaping the world, but by seeing through it. The same mind that creates the prison of desire can create the key to freedom. The same focus that fuels our obsession can fuel our awakening. Karkati's journey is our journey. She was a demoness who became a virus, and then a virus who became a sage. If a creature of pure appetite can transform herself through understanding, what is your excuse? The Yoga Vasistha tells us that there is no being so lost, no mind so consumed, no life so broken that it cannot awaken. The Demoness Karkati is proof she did not escape the world, she understood it. She did not destroy her hunger, she redirected it. And in doing so, she became something the universe had never seen, a virus that chose wisdom over consumption. The question the story leaves us with is simple and devastating. If a virus can seek the light, what are you consuming? Oh, and what is consuming you? This is the third episode of the Yoga Vasistha, the ancient text that asks us to question everything. If this story moved you, there are more waiting. Stay curious and subscribe for more.